This is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network coming out with this news that in less than 1 week, CVS and Rite Aid are dropping Apple Pay in exchange for merchant customer exchange, a system developed by over 50 merchants because they're tired of paying high credit card fees. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that's really bad for them since they just got hacked the other day. So I don't think many people are going to trust the merchant exchange since their current C app already got hacked in such a short amount of time. And I have a feeling, this is just a prediction, I think that CVS and Rite Aid are going to come running back to Apple Pay soon, especially because I just predict it'll be a big success.
Now, merchant customer exchange has no credit card fees for merchants. Now, what do you think about that?
I feel like there's no incentive for customers to use it. The only incentive is for the merchants, really, because currency, they force you to give them your social security number and banking information, so you don't get credit because you don't use credit cards, so there's really no benefit for users to use this. Apple's not paying me, I promise.
Now, merchant customer exchange gives discounts and rewards points to customers, but Apple's Pay's ease of use and safety may be more popular with consumers. Now, what do you think will win out in the end?
Well, I personally feel like that's just an excuse to track customers. I think customer loyalty is an excuse to jack up prices and then maybe give you customer loyalty discounts, which kind of bump it down to a normal level price, where with Apple Pay, they don't track your payment. It's between you and the bank, and I think that's really cool. I think that's a lot better.
Now, both of these systems require smartphones to work. Now, can they survive against credit cards when battery life for cell phones is so bad?
I think so. I think maybe not yet, but I think when technology gets a little better and more stores will support it, I think it'll get better.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say?
I don't know. Do you have anything to say, Asuna?
Hi.
There you have it.
He's really smart.
Okay, so in closing, this is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network, signing out. Those last two questions were kind of, because of that. You want to do those?
Yeah, we can do those.
Okay. Now both of these systems require. I'll read it.
It's all right.
Now both of these systems require smartphones to work. Now, can they survive against credit cards, seeing cell phone battery life is an issue?
I think eventually, maybe not right away. I think people will still continue to use credit cards until this maybe. I don't know. I think when technology gets a bit better and more stores support it, then yeah, I think it'll be better in the future.
This is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network with this breaking news. In less than 1 week, CVS and Rite Aid are dropping Apple Pay in exchange for merchant customer exchange, a system developed by over 50 merchants because they are tired of paying high credit card fees. What do you think about that?
I think it's retarded. Shouldn't get a credit card.
Now, merchant customer exchange has no credit card fees for merchants. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Now, merchant customer exchange gives discounts and rewards points, but Apple's ease of use and safety make it more popular with consumers. What do you think?
Smart.
Now, both of these systems require smartphones to work, but credit cards don't. Now, do you think these systems will work when their battery life is such an issue with cell phones?
Yeah, probably.
So in closing, is there any last minute thing you'd like to say?
Comic-Con is dope.
So in closing, this is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network, signing out. Okay, this is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network out with this breaking news. In less than 1 week, CVS and Rite Aid are dropping Apple Pay in exchange for merchant customer exchange, a system developed by over 50 merchants because they're tired of paying high credit card fees. What do you think about that?
I think it's a shame. I think it would have been much easier and simpler for individuals to use the Apple Pay system. It was a common system to a mobile device that most people have, and it seems to me that it's more of a political thing than a financial benefit to the companies that canceled it.
Now, merchant customer exchange has no credit card fees for merchants. What do you think about that?
There's always a fee somewhere. So I've been in lending, I've been in sales, I've been in mortgages. There's always a fee somewhere. So they're saying there's no fee, but maybe they're advertising, maybe they're reselling those sales potential customers' names, etc. There's some way they're making a benefit out of it, or they wouldn't do it. So the fact that they're saying that there's no fee and that's why they want to do it is a bogus argument.
Now, Merchant Customer Exchange is giving discounts and rewards points to customers, but Apple Pay's ease of use and safety are making it more popular with consumers. Do you think of that?
I think that's actually why most people would want to use it. It's safe, it's easy to use. You can walk in, grab your phone, swipe your phone, you're perfect. You don't have to worry about anything happening to your information, and if it does, Apple is willing to stand by it. And if Apple's not a big enough company to stand by something like that, rather than a small merchant exchange that wouldn't actually be able to fund a large, fraud issue, who would you want to use? Would you want to use Apple that you can trust, or would you want to use a little small company that you don't really know anything about?
Now, both of these systems require smartphones to work. But can they compete against credit cards, seeing battery life for cell phones is still quite an issue?
Yeah, I don't think that's really an issue because most people are used to high expenditure or high energy expenditure apps on their phones anyways. So there's not a single person out there that forgets to charge their phone. So the fact that it might be using a little bit more energy, I don't think that's an issue.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the folks throughout the galaxy?
I'm not the droid you're looking for.
So in closing, this is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network saying, live long and prosper. Now this is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network coming out with this breaking news. In less than 1 week, CVS and Rite Aid are dropping Apple Pay in exchange for customer exchange system developed by over 50 merchants because they're tired of paying credit card fees. What do you think about that?
I think everybody needs more security. You shouldn't drop it. If it works for them, they should try it. I mean, more people need to be more secure with payment plans and whatnot, so I don't understand why they dropped it.
Now, Merchant Customer Exchange has no credit card fees to merchants. What do you think of that?
That's actually pretty good. I mean, less fees help people out. I mean, whether it be 50 cents, $1 charge, it's still something somebody gets to save for using their service.
Now, Merchant Customer Exchange is giving discounts and rewards points to customers, but Apple Pay's ease of use and safety make it more popular with consumers. Which one do you think will win overall?
That's a good question. I wouldn't know how to answer that one.
Now, both of these systems require cell phones to work. Now, how do you think they'll compete against credit cards, seeing battery life as an issue for cell phones?
Well, cell phones now are getting a little more better. Their battery life is a little more stronger, plus they make portable chargers. So, I mean, it's actually pretty easy to use. And plus, on a cell phone, you can actually lock it. So if you lose your phone, somebody can't access your stuff anyways. It just blocks it out after a while. So actually, that's actually a little bit more smarter because if you lose a cell phone, you can always have it shut off and whatnot. And then plus somebody tries to activate it, I believe it locks the system out so they can't get the information off the phone. So that's actually a good idea.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say?
No, not really. I mean, welcome to Kamikaze. It's been a great day so far. Thanks for doing the interview with me.
So in closing, this is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network saying, live long and prosper. Now, this is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network out with this breaking news. Now, in less than 1 week, CVS and Rite Aid are dropping Apple Pay in exchange for Merchant Customer Exchange, a system developed by over 50 merchants because they're tired of paying high credit card fees. What do you think of that?
Well, I think if you can get a hold of somebody's money, you need to keep it. That's what I always say.
Now, Merchant Customer Exchange has no credit card fees to merchants. What do you think of this?
Well, I think you shouldn't pay any money to get someone else's money, but I do highly believe in getting more money out of your customers as you can.
Now, Merchant Customer Exchange is giving discounts and reward points to customers, but Apple's Pay, ease of use and safety make it more attractive to consumers. Which one do you think will win out in the end?
Oh, well, I always like a good free deal. So I think the rewards program is always very good.
Now, both of these systems require smartphones to work. Now, how do you think they'll survive against credit cards due to battery life in cell phones being an issue for them?
Well, that's a very interesting question. I never considered that. But I suppose if you have a good enough smartphone, you can buy if you don't have a good enough smartphone, you can buy a bigger one, and then you can have a longer lasting battery and spend more money.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say?
Yes, come to the Iceberg Lounge and spend all your money.
So in closing, this is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network saying, live long and prosper.